Welcome to Dives Briefed. Today we are in Sudan, in the Red Sea, and we are going to dive the Sanganeb North Plateau. And Sanganeb area is a long stretch of 6 kilometers of reef. It's massive reef. We are going to dive the North Plateau. And the North Plateau, it's a really nice area for hammerhead shark, for grey sharks, silky sharks, trivallies, basically everything that lives and breathes in the Red Sea you can find it here. It's a really beautiful dive site. Visibility is super nice. You can do this dive in many profiles, as we will see in the briefing, and the currents are quite strong, and you can use the current actually to tour around the plateau, as we will explain later on. So let's go and see the briefing.
The Sanganeb Reef is off Port Sudan. It's usually reachable by a liveaboard. It's an amazing long stretch of reef that mainly have two dive sites, the North Tip Plateau and the southern part. Today the main dive site is the North Plateau. In this aerial view we can see the southern part of the reef and the full stretch, the Blue Lagoon, which is amazingly crystal clear water. You can usually meet some dolphins during the sunset. This is an amazing place. Any diver must visit this dive site. Here we can see the details of the coral reefs surrounding the Sanganeb area, and the lagoon in the middle surrounded by the corals from all sides. The North Plateau is our main point of interest. The top of the plateau, it's around 2 to 4 meters of depth, and it has a very beautiful coral garden. That could be a really good spot for your safety stop or your last decompression stop according to your profile. Depending where the Zodiac will drop you, on the eastern side or the western side of the plateau, the best entry for this dive is to have a negative entry. So be prepared on your Zodiac, check all your equipment, do the body check, make sure that you have your tank turned on, your fins are on, your max is on, and then drop. And the northern edge of the reef, it goes downward steeply, where you can find the sandy bottom, goes horizontally from edge to edge. It's around 26 meters. Right after the sandy bottom, the plateau rises to around 24 meters of depth, and it's covered with soft white corals, amazingly beautiful. In that edge of the plateau, you can find a fish bowl, which is around 8 meters of depth on the eastern side. Afterwards, the plateau goes deeper in depth to around 35 meters, and it continues to go deeper and deeper as you go northwards, and it gets slimmer and slimmer from both sides in this triangular long shape. In the middle of the plateau, in around 40 meters of depth, there is a white buoy anchored in the middle of the coral gardens. The white buoy is a very important marker. It marks the middle of the reef. From the soft corals to the white buoy, it should take you around 3 meters of swimming, and from the buoy to the edge of the plateau, it's around another 3 meters. So overall, the reef is about 6-7 meters of finning. The buoy could also show you the direction of the current at around 40 meters depth of the reef, so keep your eye on it. It's a good navigational marker. Usually the currents come from the south to the north, and it gets stronger the more you move north because you get less sheltered by the reef. The currents can also move from east to west or west to east, but generally in the southwards direction. So be flexible with your dive plan, depending on the current. The guide will probably check the current for you before you jump into the water. If the current is coming from the east side, then probably you should start the dive from the eastern side of the plateau and take shelter as you go northwards. Behind the plateau, and then vice versa if the current is coming from the west side to the east side. Do your safety stop at the shallowest part of the reef. If your Zodiac is anchored on the reef, just swim to the Zodiac. If the Zodiac is floating in the blue, swim towards the Zodiac and then inflate your SMB before ascending so they can have visibility of you. We just descended in the middle of the plateau. Reef is on our back, plateau is on our front. Towards the north, you can see the sandy bottom right below us. You can see the edges of the plateau on the east side, on the west side. If you look behind us, we would see the main reef right in our back, so we're right at the start of the dive. Here you can see the edge of the west side of the reef, and you can see it's quite a steep drop-off. The curls of the soft corals in the coral garden is just amazing. You can see the anthias, the colors are amazing. It's just an amazing, pristine reef. Nothing can describe it. Right below is just a huge tuna just passing by. To give orientation, we're in the middle of the plateau. Looking behind us, you can see this huge mountain, which is the main reef. Signature inhabitants of this reef is the bumphead parrotfish. We are now at the middle of the reef, and you can see the white buoy just anchored in the middle. Turning back, you can see below us huge schools of trevallies and surgeonfish. It's just amazing. They're just so numerous. And the visibility is just amazing. It's like maybe 40-50 meters. Brilliant. And you can see one of our buddies just taking loads of pictures of them. They are so friendly, just coming and posing for photographers. Here you can see the most northern tip of the reef where the triangle just ends. And below us is the soft coral garden, full of white coral just below us. And that should be in the pink area on the map. You can see how white and amazing they are. It's just beautiful. And this is my favorite fish, the musk butterfly fish. They're always in pairs, always living together. And of course, the famous clownfish, aka Mr. Nemo. They always live in pairs, and they're always living in the anemone soft corals. They're just amazing. And here's a closed-up anemone soft coral, red in the inside. Really cool to see, and you usually don't see it a lot in the Red Sea during the daytime. And we're back at the main reef, and you can see the fish bowl with millions of glassfish. They're just really nice, super cool. And of course, it's just perfect for photographers. Going upwards, you can see how pristine the reef is, even at the shallower parts. And we're going back to the main reef to do our safety stop. You can see the anthias, the coral gardens, it's just brilliant. And check out or look for the octopuses, eels. There are a lot of small stuff that are actually hiding in this area. And here's a small moray eel just hiding under the corals, posing for our pictures.
So that was a super dive. It was really nice. Unfortunately, we didn't see any sharks, but we've seen a huge school of trevallies. There were a couple of barracudas. There was a lot of action going on down there. So yeah, it was a really nice dive. There was a nice fish bowl with a lot of anthias. The reef is super healthy. It was a super fantastic dive. I would say it's like a 9 out of 10. Really nice dive, really recommend it. So if you like the brief, please like the video, share it with your diving friends, follow our YouTube channel, our Instagram, and if you're interested to see more diving briefs, see the other videos.